Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Got one for the Star Wars fans. This is Hot Toys Jedi Master Plo Koon. Figure I've been impatiently waiting for a couple of months now. So excited to get it opened. So here is our figure. Front we've got some hands. You can have him displayed in his Jedi robes like he's comes in the box, or have him garbed like he appears in the Clone Wars, and that's what these four hands are. We get a left and right lightsaber wielding hand, and then I guess you'd call these gesturing hands. Likewise with the Clone Wars hands. This one has with one hand bent down oddly. So here is the figure in his Jedi robe. Now he actually appears in the background quite a bit in the movies, and then he also figures prominently in quite a few episodes of the Clone Wars. And one thing I've noticed, he has a tendency, whether he's sitting or standing, to hold his hands clasped in front of him. And I have learned it's not in any of the manufacturer's photos, but actually it's this one. And I don't know if they did this on purpose or it's by accident, but these hands do intertwine pretty well. So we don't have any Clone War hands that do that though. So here is the figure. He's got this weird Hogwarts sorting hat type hood, but we never see him with the hood up, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. We have this forearm armor that goes with his Clone Wars look. We've got his lightsaber hilt, and then we got a USB lightsaber hilt, swishing blade and regular blade. Very, very blue. I'm really eager to see what that looks like lit up. We have a stand, and then we have the USB power box and the clip. We've got this clip for putting it on the post, and then this one for putting it on the belt. And then taped underneath the clamshell we get this outfit and the belt for the Clone Wars look. And then this little hook thing clips on the belt, and that's for hooking the lightsaber hilt to. And what I don't understand is why it didn't come already attached. This looks like something that might fall off easily. That has me a little bit worried. So let's put them together and see how he looks. So here's Plo Koon right out of the box. I've got a couple of other Jedi here to compare them with. I've got all my Jedi posed with their full robes on, so I wanted to do the same with Plo Koon, but I was originally worried that with his robe he looked very plain and kind of boring with everything covered up. But actually, I think it gives the collection much needed variety because they've all got basically the same outfit. The only variation is what color brown everything is. So he's a little bit, he's got some variety, or gives the collection some variety. And the pose also with his hands together, he's the only figure I've got like that. So I ended up, I was worried it wouldn't look too good, but now I'm very, very pleased with it. So now let's see what he looks like in the Clone Wars outfit. So a really quick look at the figure, which I failed to do earlier. He's got this breathing apparatus on him with some intricate scroll work. It's hard to see, but it's the same thing that's on this thing that he wears on his long finger. And then he's got these tendril type things. It's very nicely made. He's got pretty good movement on his legs. Looks like it's a double joint at the knee. Ratcheted hip joint. The boots are split and the top part is soft. I'm guessing that's pleather. So we get pretty good movement on his feet. And then his arm, we got really good movement. Frequently the outfits retard the movement out the shoulder, but not on this figure. So the head, there's very limited movement on the head though. So, but that's okay. Now to put him in the Clone Wars outfit, you have to remove this, and there's little tiny snaps. You want to be very careful undoing them so you don't tear the robe. Let's see if I can get my fingernail in between the two snap halves. Oh, come on, you son of a bitch. Okay. So here is the figure without his robe, and that snap was not fastened. But likewise, to get his lightsaber installed how I want it, I'm going to have to take this off. Dandy snaps can be a real bitch sometimes. Run into these in military figures too. So that is one criticism I have is we've got these black wrist pegs, and for some reason this sleeve is shorter than this one by just a hair, so it's exposed. So you want to make sure that ends up getting covered up so you don't see it. So let's take off his hands, since we will be using different hands for the Clone Wars look. And going to take that. I'm going to see if I can put the lightsaber in without taking that completely off. Oh, there it is. Sure, this wire. I want to make sure it doesn't get caught in that socket. So if you have any of the other Jedi figures that you did with the Clone Wars armor, you know, it's a pain in the ass bunching up their sleeves to get them into this. And we don't have that problem with Plo Koon, thankfully. So, get him snapped up now. And I have a feeling that's going to take some more. So these snaps were a pain in the ass. This one, I'm having trouble with it staying snapped. You know, the figure came with it unsnapped. So I think there's something defective with it. But it's going to get covered up with this thing. But I found snapping this bottom one first before then trying to snap this seemed to help, but yeah, it's not staying snapped for some reason. So let's go ahead and finish him. Come on, get in there. That's kind of a loose fit in that hand, but we'll make it work. Pull some. And I'm going with this unique hand with the bent finger. There. So that pretty much hides that wrist peg, that black wrist peg. So. And unfortunately this thing has two of those tiny snaps. So. And I did have trouble unsnapping them to get them off the piece of cardboard. So, let's see. Probably should have put it on before I put the hands on, but especially with this lightsaber, make it fit. Where there's a will, there's a way. Come on, you bastard. So learn from my mistake. Put this thing on before you put the hands on. Come on. I didn't think this thing through, but I will make it work. There. There you go. Okay, I think he's going to require some fussing with his outfit here. And some struggling with the snaps. So it did take me a while to get the snaps done, and what I just learned, it's easier if you can get one finger underneath so you have something solid to push against. So the one thing that has me worried, we have a lot of loose fabric in the front here, and I'm afraid when we put the belt on and it's all this fabric's bunched up, he's going to look fat. But we'll see what we can do. These pieces are wired. I kind of wish they weren't. I guess it'd be nice if you're doing a dynamic pose, but that's not something I will be doing. So there's a lot of extra fabric right there. And I'm hoping this split back here will make it easy to fit a waist grabber underneath, so you end up not seeing that. So he's going to take a lot of fussing on his outfit here to get it to look right. So here he is in his Clone Wars outfit. To be bluntly honest, I've noticed on some other YouTubers' videos that he appears kind of fat from all this loose material up here. And my intention was to draw it as tight as possible and hold it in place with the belt. But this belt is very, very loose. Yeah. But I did manage to try to get the material as flat as possible so it doesn't look too fat. The one thing I was very worried about did come true, and this piece does fall off easily. So when I put it back on, I put a little dab of Fabri-Tac on the back, and hopefully now it'll stay in place. So, and here in a minute I'll light up the lightsaber and we'll see how that looks. So there he is with his lightsaber lit up. It is a very bright blue. I had to turn the really bright lights off so you could see it. That's why the rest of the figure appears dark. But anyway, that gives you a good idea how bright and how blue his lightsaber is. So there you have it. Turn these lights back on so we can see the figure better. So there is Plo Koon. I think it's a great figure. Really glad I got it, and hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for stopping by.